This hour of the program, Cameron Smith, the GOAT, the man who played more premiership games in the history of Australian Rugby League than any other, joins us, but it's also confession time this hour. The boys don't know about the question I'm about to ask them. Cameron Smith joins us.
I'm a bit nervous.
Cameron, are you ready?
Morning, Cam.
Not really.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Because you will be found out if you lie, if you can't handle the truth here.
Okay.
We've been talking hair pulling this morning in light of the Tyson Frizzell penalty, and I'll get your comment in a moment on that, Cameron, how that was handled on the weekend. Mm-hmm. But I go to both of you now, and you played in different eras, Greg Alexander, but I'm going to you, Cameron. In all those games you played, in fact, all through your career, were you ever guilty of pulling the hair of an opponent? Do you recall pulling the hair of an opponent in your rugby league career, Cameron Smith?
Well, look, off the top of my head, Vossy, I can't remember too many players having long hair when I played. Most of the haircuts were sort of short back and side. There were certainly no mullets like we see running around in today's game. But
yes,
I think if there was ever anyone with longish hair or hair sort of coming down, there may have been a fistful of hair a couple of times.
Right. Ooh, that's
accidentally, of course. Accidentally.
Of course. So, okay. So, I'll let you get off there. But now I'm going to put it on Brandy, who played in the day where there was the Kerry Hemsleys of the world and
there was some
Jeff
long
Robinson
hairs,
at the Bulldogs. There was some blokes with long hair. Were you?
Yep.
Did you find yourself giving it a good yank there at some point? The hair of an opponent?
Well, even I, we sort of, the 2000s when Cam played through that era, I think most blokes were pretty conservative hairstyles. I don't think there was too many crazy hairstyles. But then back in the 80s were almost like today, where you had long hair. There was mullets, and mullets were big in the late 80s.
Well, Sterlo had long hair. Sterlo had long hair, really.
Well, yeah, that's right. Sterlo had long hair. Now, and we had someone text in, did anyone ever pull Sterlo's hair? and yes, and I was never a hair puller.
Oh, okay. So there's no is the answer to it.
If it happened by accident, trying to make. And as I said, I was one of the great grabbers in defence.
Yeah.
My technique was
he's made that admission.
Big heavy jerseys, plenty of jersey to grab.
Yeah. Now, Cameron, this morning, Brandy, I reckon, has solved the problem. And actually, this is a combination of a couple of the SEN's biggest names. Fletch last night on Sunday Night with Matty Johns said, and I was unaware of this, that in the NFL, if your hair comes outside the helmet and goes onto the name on the back of your jersey, it is considered part of your jersey.
That's correct.
So if if it happens in a tackle, it happens. Brandy, what is the wording of the rewriting of the rule as of today?
Well, if your hair's on your jersey, if it touches part of your jersey, it's part of the jersey. That's it.
Yep.
Cameron, do you agree to that rule tweak as of today? I mean, it is a serious issue. With all these different hairstyles now and blokes braiding their hair down their back, as ridiculous as I believe it looks, but I'm a dinosaur.
Yep.
But I think it looks ridiculous. Yeah, if you're going to go out and play rugby league and have your hair braided for 1 hour before a game, you're cracking jokes. But part of the jersey, do you agree with Brandy's rule change?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing the hairstyles change now. We've got mullets. We've got guys with just generally longer hair wearing it out. We got guys with long rat's tails as well. A little bit harder to pick up on the TV, but I completely agree. If your hair hangs down lower than the collar of your jersey, then that's just it's play on. It's part of your jersey. Like if you've with Luai the other night, and you can't tell people what type of hairstyle they have to have and what they do with it, but make it very clear that if it hangs down and it's touching your jersey, then it's part of your jersey. If Tyson Frizzell is trying to make that tackle, which I think everyone can see, he's just going to grab a piece of Luai's jersey.
Everyone can see that.
Everyone. And it's part of it. Like, if you want to wear it like that, then put up with it being grabbed every now and again.
Yeah, but you still leave the scope open for quite obviously the deliberate. And you can tell. There was one. What was the one with the bloke that
that's right.
The ball, pulled their hair and that.
Yeah.
You can still have a penalty for that, not in the spirit of the game. Penalty. I didn't realise this. We love the live feedback. Listener picked up. Martin said, when I asked you, Cameron, if you'd ever pulled a player's hair, you said, well, off the top of my head. No pun intended. Is that right? You have to roll back the
That's a
tape.
good
I
one.
didn't even notice. You said it.
Yeah, I said off the top of my head, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I remember.
Now, next one, hip drop tackles. We move another week on, and we are still in this. It's become the biggest grey area in the game. And like Nat Butcher the other night, everyone's a sin bin. They're looking for it now. The bunkers on hip drop watch. You played more games than anyone in the NRL. In Australian rugby league history, I ask you right now, as you watch a game live in normal speed, do you say hip drop, hip drop, hip drop, or do you have to watch tape back? Are you sick of watching slow-mos trying to find a hip drop tackle?
Well, Vossy, I'll put it this way: if you sit down and take your eyes away from just the game in general and just look for them, you will see many, many more than what are being penalised. I promise you that. You'll see 20 of them a game.
When no one's injured.
Where no one's injured, that's right.
Yeah.
But at the moment, what we're doing, and I said this on air the other night after the Storm Manly game, was I just feel like we're jumping at shadows at the moment. And it was and I heard Brandy's comments post game as well. It was around the Trent Liero tackle on Olakau'atu. Now, because that tackle looked awkward, and now Harry Grant come in and sort of he contributed to Olakau'atu going back the way he did, but. Number one, there was no high contact from Harry Grant. And number two, Liero, he didn't even make contact at all with the legs of Olakau'atu. So because it looked awkward and may have looked like someone had done something illegal from a defender's point of view, they blew a penalty. I just think they blew a penalty and said, let's just see what's happened here. Someone's done something for sure, but in actual fact, no one had done a single thing wrong.
No.
It was just Liero.
Right.
And
So
Brandy,
we are jumping at shadows.
Absolutely. I think we're just out there looking for defenders, doing something wrong. And I said this on the captain's run last week that I can't remember our game, fellas. I cannot remember our game actively looking to penalise our players.
Yes.
No, that really tipped it over the edge. That Trent Liero one, and my analogy of it was, if I was coming in, and I swung an arm at someone, but missed, how could I be penalised?
Yeah, exactly right.
If I don't make contact, and that's exactly what happened with Trent Liero. Now, he just used his weight to drag the player down. He didn't flip himself behind the player, behind the attacker. He just pulled him down, didn't make any contact with the legs of Olakau'atu, yet he got penalised for it.
Yeah, anyway. Good chat on hip drop.
But the Storm tend to isolate the one player who's really the mojo for the opposition and just put everyone on him. So I'm expecting that to be Sean Johnson. Do you see it, something about the Warriors that we can actually beat the Storm if they take SJ out of the game?
Lovely. Lovely question to leave us with, Warriorholic. You look after yourself, mate, and have a good day there. Now it is sayonara to the Warriorholic. Answer that question, Cameron, because Amos Muster.
Yeah, look at that. That is a great question because he's been so instrumental this year, hasn't he, Sean Johnson, in all of their games, particularly the victories and the ones that they've come from behind and taken out the 2 points. But I don't know. I just when a player's in the form he's in at the moment, I don't think the mindset of the Melbourne Storm this week, huge game, of course, Anzac round down in Melbourne. I don't think they'll be looking to take him out of the game. They'll just be trying to minimise the impact that he has on it. But if you solely focus on one player, that just gives opportunities to their other great players in their team.
All righty. Now, question from the Brisbane Eel. We haven't mentioned it, Brandy, the incredible captain's challenge in the Penrith Knights game, where not only did they overturn a penalty, they got a player back from the sin bin. Spencer Leniu, he's on his way to the sin bin, but they win the challenge, so he gets to come back on the field. Now, I had some problems last Easter Monday. Right at the end of the game, both Parramatta and the Tigers had challenges in the last few minutes, and I don't like the captain's challenge, boys. I just think it becomes NFL, too many stopped, and there in the last few minutes, I called them frivolous challenges. Yes, they were a minor chance of getting it. They lost both of them. But it starts the momentum of an exciting finish. Cameron Smith, great question from the Brisbane Eel. Are you a fan of the Captain's Challenge? And, it wasn't around in all of your career. It came on board late, but do you think you would be a habitual user of the challenge if
No.
you were still playing?
No,
Are you a fan?
I don't think I would have been, Vossy, no. It was there in my final season in 2020, but I think the whole season may have used it 3 times.
Yeah,
I think.
right.
Yeah, I tried to get in the ear of the referees early rather than using the the captain's challenge.
Nice. Yes. That was a stunning admission.
I just keep running with that storyline though.
You should put out a book.
One of the great understated whistlemen, Cameron Smith.
Yes. No need for a challenge.
Oh,
Yes,
dear.
very nice. That is
Oh, dear.
amazing. So you should write a book, Cameron. And you did. A very good one.